Good evening. Welcome to HBCU Delaware Talks. Thank you for allowing we to be in your living room this evening. We are here to just have a little good time talking about some good old positive things happening here in Wilmington, Delaware, uh, Newcastle County, state of Delaware, and the United States of America. There's a lot of things going on in Wilmington, of course. One of the things that we don't promote is education. We really would like to begin to promote it even the more. I'd like to see every African American student go to an HBCU. It doesn't happen, but it's always an option. And there's no offense against PWIs, which stands for predominantly white institutions. They're great institutions as well. Just think that it's opportunities for everyone to go to college. You don't know what you're missing, you know what I mean, Mr. Seals? I have a great group of guests here this evening, and just to talk about some of the events that's going to occur in Wilmington, Delaware in the coming week. But prior to that, let me talk about the college fair that's coming up. So save the date. This is the College and Career Fair, which will be held March the 16th, 2017 from 6:30 to 8:30 at Howard High School of Technology. Almost at Howard Career Center. 401 East 12th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. It's a college and career fair. Come on out, students, just come out. Not just for college, but for career. A lot of us, some people are not interested in going to college, but there is also a career for you. Howard used to be the Howard Career Center, by the way.
Yes.
It used to be the old Howard High. My grandparents, my mom, they went to Howard High School. My grandfather. So Howard's been around a long time. But anyway, let me introduce to you some of the guests that are here. In fact, I'll let them introduce themselves in their own way. And then just to talk about some things that's happening at Bancroft. Yes. Mr. Mark Seals, talk to me.
Yes, we have an event coming up at Bancroft School, February 23rd, 6:30 p.m. Bancroft School, 700 North Lombard Street. We're honoring the 100 best basketball players in Bancroft School history, along with the coaches. And our committee is made up of Rashid Mustafa, Sharon Parsons here, Doxy to my right, Maurice Pritchett, James Dickerson, Tony Washam, and myself, yours truly. And so we're having this event and we're excited about it, and we're going to have it in honor of Black History Month.
Awesome. And it's at Bancroft.
Bancroft School.
And so what time does that start?
It starts at 6:30 p.m. sharp.
And that's on what day?
That's Thursday, February 23rd.
Okay, that's next Thursday. Come on out and see the best ball players at Bancroft throughout the years.
Yes, we go all the way back to the 50s.
Wow.
All the way till, the 2000s.
Really?
We're covering every era.
Oh, here's the test. Okay,
Yes.
In the 50s, can you give me one ball player from Bancroft?
Bob King.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Is that right?
Mr. King was a jumper. He could jump out the gym.
Mr. King.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
King,
King
Bob
was
King.
a play.
Really?
Yeah.
He's an athlete, huh?
Yes, super.
You know, my uncle went to school with them. All those guys went to school together.
Yes.
The Lopers, the Kings, the Halls,
Yes.
Everybody went to Howard back then.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And your name, man? I'm sorry, Doc C. What did you tell me, Doc?
Sharon Doxy.
Sharon Doxy. Hi.
Hi.
And you're a Bancroft graduate as well, or a Bancroft
sure
alum?
am.
Is that right? You play ball?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yes.
Point
I
guard?
played for two years. I played different positions.
Is that
But
right?
My main position was point guard.
Where did you play high school ball?
I played for Howard.
Did you?
Career Center.
Oh, you played for the Career Center?
Yes.
Oh.
With Debbie Brazil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
My girl. Yes.
Mr. Ty, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
I'm welcome. How are you?
How do I get to be
You're
a
a
part of it?
Bancroft?
I went to Bancroft.
Did you really?
And I played for Mr. Burks.
Mr. Leroy Burks?
Leroy Burks.
The Q.
I just got off the phone with him.
He's a Norfolk State grad, by the way.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, he's
Obviously.
You
know, and I'm just pleased to be a part of the celebration of these guys, because it takes a great mind to think about people who don't even think that you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
You know, and he reached back, Mark and the committee, they reached back and grabbed some good guys, like even Mr. Bob King. We heard of him being able to jump so high. That man is a really short guy.
Yeah.
But he could jump straight up and touch the rim.
Really?
Oh yeah. He was
Bob
like that.
King,
So,
he coached a lot of people, man, back in his time.
Yeah, so I just want to be a part of the movement.
I think that's good, and I think, Mark, you're doing a phenomenal job with that. You did something for the Boys and Girls Club Brown. I think that's awesome. And because, a lot of times in the city, in our community, a lot of kids losing their lives because because of the differences, and a lot of people, what you're doing is talking about similarities, and I think that's awesome. That's like a similarity day, as opposed to the differences. We beat up each other because of our differences. Yes. We have the crab in the barrel mentality because of our differences. We're not being successful because of our differences. We will not support each other because of our differences. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine us beginning to support each other or looking at our similarities? See, and when I think about similarities and differences, when I think about differences, I think about the math equation, subtraction. So the answer to a subtraction equation would be the differences. So it's taking away, not adding to. So I think doing the similarity thing, I think that's an awesome idea. I didn't go to Bancroft. I attended Byard Middle School. And maybe one of these days we could try that on the west side.
Yeah, we're sorry to hear that. So.
Sorry to hear that. But as far as Byard, back in those days we had Byard, Warner, Bancroft. Mm-hmm. Listen, we even had interscholastic athletics. We had swimming, we had track and field,
yes.
flag football,
yes.
basketball. We had all these, and we don't have them today. No. I think that they would probably more or less impact the community, get the kids to stay in school and focus, because I remember once upon a time, during my time in middle school, we a lot of kids right now, they don't want to promote being on an honor roll. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Back then, it was competition where everybody really wanted to, see who could outdo who as far as our grades. It's changed now, Yes. Mark, so tell me a little bit about your idea. How did this come together?
Well, our committee, Rashid Mustafa,
sure.
Maurice Pritchett, James Dickerson, Tony Washam, and Sharon Parsons Doxey, we all met, and Rashid Mustafa came up with the idea to honor the 100 best basketball players and coaches in Bancroft history. Awesome. And we met back in the summertime of 2016, and that's how all this came about. And we've been working hard on this event ever since. And we just want to bring the community together and honor Black History Month. That's why we're doing this. And we want to celebrate Bancroft School's legendary history. Bancroft is a very historic school in so many ways. And one of the ways is basketball. And we want to do that for Black History Month.
I think that's awesome. Mr. Pritchett, he was the principal at Bancroft.
Yes.
Butch Ingram, he's the principal now. So there's a legacy at Bancroft.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a lot of girls over there too when I was in the 7th grade. We used to go over to Bancroft and play sports. You know what school I left out? I left out Burnett.
Yes, Burnett.
Yes, you did.
Burnett,
because that's one of our rivalries.
Yes.
Yeah, Byard, Bancroft, Burnett.
Yes.
Oh my God, man, what happened to the good?
That was P.S.'s little brother.
Huh?
Yes.
What? Say that again? Burnett?
P.S.'s little brother.
Yeah, Burnett. Yeah,
Yes.
How about that?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So everybody from Bancroft went to Howard.
Yes.
If you went to Burnett, you went to PS.
Mm-hmm.
If you went to Byard, you went to Wilmington High.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
So how do we get it back that way? Because I know everyone's talking right now, a community school or, having a school in Wilmington High School.
Yes.
You know what though? If they started having an interscholastic middle school competition.
Yes.
Not just basketball. But then again, Warner's Elementary, Burnett doesn't exist, and we got to get better. We have to tie it in. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with this committee.
Well, first of all, Mark had called me up because we've been talking.
Sure.
We talk all the time about basketball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And I'm not one to always talk about basketball, but I do once someone asked me about it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I was a ball player for Bancroft as well as Howard. Mm-hmm. But we were champions in my 8th grade at Bancroft.
Really? Awesome.
Mr. Pritchett and Mr. Hollis and Mrs. Burtz, they took well care of us. And I also was coached by Mr. Heyman during my time frame playing ball. And when we got better because we played against the boys. They made us tougher than
Sure.
playing against the girls. But my start was just like you were saying about the after school care and
Sure.
places like that. That's how I got my start, because I started from neighborhood house, but I played after school with other group of girls and learning how to play the basketball, because I did not want to play basketball. They chose me to play basketball
Is that right?
because of my height.
Oh, okay. We played down at Jackson Street, and it just started everything. Mr. T.Y., how'd you get involved?
So look, I'm just one of the best fans you're gonna ever have. I was there when Mr. Burks used to coach Bancroft, and there were some guys on the team, so I had to go and find out. I kind of remember who they were because Bancroft, that was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So we went back, and Mr. Burks was the coach. Then we had a guy named Bradford Williams.
Bradford Williams.
From Southbridge. Then we got Perry Huggins, had Eric Fuller, right? Marlon Brown, Bay Boy, right? Now people who are listening to the show will remember
sure.
these names.
Sure.
And we had Ketty Lote. We used to call him Dum Dum.
Yeah, names for everyone back
Forgive me, Ketty, if you're listening, but I haven't seen him in years. And we had Butch Boardley. Okay, he had Diddles. His name was Derek.
Sure.
He was head guard, and they had Ernie Coleman. So Ernie passed away. Butch Boardley passed away.
Wow.
Bay Boy's gone.
Wow.
Marlon Brown passed away, and Bradford Williams passed away. Right. That's why this thing that they came up with was so significant, because a lot of folks don't even know who's here or who's not here.
Is that right?
So just to wake us all up and say, man, we got to be grateful
Yeah.
that something like this came along. So, like you said, how can we get back to this? We got to keep dreaming and keep executing your dream. You know what I'm saying? Because we can actually give everybody something to remember, something to cling to. Because it's up to us now. The Hicks Andersons are gone.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that we used to look to, Dickie Wright, and, Mr. Witherspoon. Gus Keys, Ernie Webster, Ray Evans.
Wow.
You guys are gone. Who's here?
Yeah.
We are. And shame on us if we don't use this as an example.
Sure.
To continue the legacy and to preserve the heritage.
Yeah.
We
have to.
So, asking me why I'm here, yeah, that's the reason why I'm here.
I think it's all right. That's a great idea, Mark and T.Y. You all have to blow it up, man. Even take this to the next level. Somehow HBCU can work with you. I have a new channel launched as HBCU TV, channel 107. 107, that's just the support of 107 HBCUs throughout the country. And it's on ACTBOOM, it's Act Boom. So in fact, it'll be streamlined tonight. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the United States and abroad. So I'd like to see what we can do next. We did have a conversation about doing a little shoot off the phone and going live and then loading it up on the channel. We got to take these platforms. We got to utilize these platforms. We have to promote these platforms so our kids could see positive. Get them off of those little games. Those kids probably playing their games right now. They're not paying attention to what's going on, So we most definitely have to put this in the forefront. I think it's great. And I appreciate you. I'm proud of you for doing what you're doing. Keep it up. What years you graduated anyway?
From high school?
Yeah.
I graduated 82.
82.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the year after
Yes.
we came out in 1981.
Yes. Yes.
We were bust out to McCain. I am a Red Devil.
Yes.
Are you really?
From Wilmington High School. You all heard about it. We won the state championship in 1978.
Somebody said that.
I just want you all from Bancroft and Howard and PS to know that in 1978, Wilmington High
I was
School,
on top of their game.
WHS,
Yes. On top of
they
their
used to
game.
say WHS, the baddest school from east to west. So they were talking about east, north, south, west. They were talking about everyone.
All of it.
Yes.
But they changed Wilmington High School into the charter school of Wilmington.
Yeah.
And I thank God for Wilmington High School.
Yes.
I thank God for the Bancrofts. I thank God for the Lures. I thank God for all the elementary schools that we had, because we're still here.
There you go. That's
You
right.
know,
That's right.
Norman Oliver involved with this?
Yes, he's our.
I knew it.
Yes,
Huh?
he's our master of ceremonies.
Is he?
And yes, we have Chuck Durante. He's our keynote speaker.
Okay.
Charles Chuck Durante.
Yeah.
Basketball historian
Yes,
/
sir.
sports writer.
Is that right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
So, did Norm and those guys, they went to Bancroft too?
Yes, they
let
did.
people-
Yes.
So all the kids, so you're saying that the kids from South Bridge went to Bancroft?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We did.
You could walk to school then,
Yes.
huh?
We-
We walk to
Well, had
school
no
all the
choice.
time.
Yes,
No
we walked to
buses.
school, snow, rain, whatever, and Bancroft had the best everything, best athletes, best artists, singers.
Really?
Bancroft, we had so much talent at Bancroft, it's unreal. We have politicians from Bancroft. I mean, you name it, ministers, reverends.
Y'all didn't have the best of everything either. We used to tear Bancroft up in basketball.
I don't remember
Football.
that. I don't remember
I
that,
don't
sir.
remember that
We
either.
get
'Cause
some-
I don't remember that,
I was
sir.
a champion.
We used
Yes,
to tear
yes.
Bancroft up.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm gonna go to a break and then I'm gonna come right back. So give me, how does Mr. Holloway say, don't touch that doll?
Yes.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning into HBCU Delaware Talks, talking about some of the events and some of the things that are happening here in the city of Wilmington. Right now, I have a young man on a show from Philadelphia by way of Morehouse College, by way of Morgan State University, and just an artist and doing so many great things in Philly. Also an educator, from what I see on the Facebook. Brother Maurice Mand of Philadelphia is here to talk to you about some of what HBCUs have done for you, or what HBCUs have created
Right.
because of HBCUs. So you're doing some good things. Welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time coming.
Yes,
I
it
know
has.
we've been hit and miss for the past 4 months.
Yeah,
Past
yeah,
4 months.
yeah.
So I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you came in. Mr. Mander, he's a comic book artist, educator. Tell me a little bit about the book, or tell me what you do.
Well, let me say this because I would be remiss if I didn't say this.
Okay.
I currently reside in Philadelphia, but originally, and I always start my interviews this way. My name is Maurice Armander. I'm from the Vineland Housing Projects in Trenton, New Jersey, and I have a poor man's analysis with an educated man's vocabulary.
Awesome.
And I always start my show that way because it's imperative that I let children who still reside in my projects at home know that because you're born in those conditions don't mean you have to continuously reside in those conditions. And if you use education, you can rise above those conditions and make a better way for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's how I start all my interviews.
Awesome. And that's true. Education is the key. Not to mention, education is the field that make all other fields possible.
Absolutely.
You know, so and education is key. And I think what you're doing is dynamic simply because a lot of our kids are not reading on grade level. A lot of kids look like me, or not. But there are a lot that are.
Right.
I see that you have books. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Well, I
Hey,
created.
hold on, I'm sorry. Since we're live, where did this all start? You said in Trenton, New Jersey,
Yes.
and what? Okay, and you said in the poor city, grew up not having, educated. Tell me what's going on with the book.
Well, let me say this. It started off as an idea. I used to be a child and family therapist. And when I moved to Philadelphia, I used to have a lot of children that would come and visit me at my site, and they would always bring comic books. And I'm a huge comic book fan. And I would talk to them, and primarily my kids were either Latino or African American. And I would ask them, like, why don't you ever bring any black superheroes in? And they would say, well, we don't like them, or we can't relate to them. And unfortunately, the evolution of black superheroes in comic books have been stagnant. You know, they started the Black Panther when the Black Panther Party started.
Sure.
Luke Cage started off as an unemployed superhero. And so instead of the characters evolving and becoming more applicable to the day, they haven't evolved at all. So I decided that I would create not just a black comic book, I would create a dope comic book. And so because my superheroes are black, I have a mixture of black, Latino, white, and I don't allow people to narrow my book down to, hey, it's just a black comic book. No, my comic book is dope. It competes with all the comic books. In fact, there isn't a convention that I've gone to yet that I haven't sold out every single copy that I take with me to the conventions. And what I did was, I decided to create Saurian Seed with superheroes that were graduates of HBCUs, as well as graduates of my high school back in Trenton, New Jersey. So the main character here is Infinite. He's a graduate of Morehouse College and also a graduate of Trenton High. And the other characters are graduates of Morgan State,
really?
my grad school, and Morehouse, my undergrad. So I kind of let the characters reflect my experiences. And so I started incorporating all the HBCUs in it because I wanted the characters to have a certain standard of dialogue in the book.
Sure.
The book itself isn't written on a 6th grade level. Most comic books are written on a 6th grade level. In fact, I would venture to say my comic book is probably written on freshman college level.
Oh.
And most people who picked up my comic book, the first thing they said was, hey man, I didn't expect to get all that in the comic book. It's 22 pages of comic and 22 pages of novel. And it's the first one in the series of 12. So right now, it's doing fairly well. Within the past 30 days, I received 3 covers of newspapers in Jersey, and I just received an article in Philadelphia as of today. And I'm here with you, and so it's prospering, it's going well.
Yeah, awesome. I think even with you say it's written on a college level.
Yes.
I like the way that you put the comic book on a college level because it catches the interest,
Right.
especially with these characters. I mean, people are looking at the pages, and then they can apply the pictures or the illustrations
Right.
with some of the words, so they can infer what the story may be about. Some of the kids that are not reading on college level, they can still read this. So that tells me that it's not difficult to read.
No, it's not.
It's not difficult.
It's not.
Sometimes we have to look at the attention seeker. So if that's a seeking my attention, that means that I can find out what the story's about and read more into it. You have a genius mind.
Nah, man,
I mean, to just think of that. I had a gentleman on my last show who does the HBC elementary books,
okay.
and I thought that's a pretty good book that he's doing on the elementary level, and you're doing a comic book, so that's two. So we might have to connect.
We
link
can
you guys
hook up.
up.
We can connect. Let me tell you, but I would be missing. I'm not an artist.
Okay.
I conceptualize Superhero Incorporated, which is the parent company of Saurian Seed. I do all the writing. I design the characters initially, and then I have other artists illustrate them. And I started off working with a gentleman named Sean Elaine, and I started working with a gentleman named Lionel Motley. And currently, my primary artist is Matt Sill. And the interesting thing about Matt is he's self-taught, and what I do inside my comic book is based in Trenton. I use real people from Trenton, real locations in Trenton, and I infuse it alongside fictitious characters and, of course, fictitious scenarios, but I also marry some real events in there. And so you may read my book. If it's talking about something historical that actually happened, if it's talking about something in the city of Trenton that actually happened, so I infuse a whole lot of real ideas into the storyline. It's a science fiction, martial arts, supernatural, urban drama.
Wow.
So it works.
Can you say that one more time?
Science fiction, martial arts, supernatural, urban drama.
Wow.
So it works. It works pretty well, man. It works pretty well.
Is that right? Are you in any of the bookstores at this point in time?
No, what's been happening is when I initially came out, it took me 10 years to do my first book.
Okay.
So for 10 years, I sat down, I wrote the Saurian Seed Encyclopedia, and I dropped it in 2011. I started it in 2000, and I dropped it in 2011 at the Philadelphia Convention Center. I put it into some bookstores, it sold out.